Hello everyone, Guten Tag, welcome to this roundtable on the World Trade Centers Association Investor Day that's being hosted at Dresden at 6 p.m. on the 10th of June this year. My name's Ed Allison-Wright. I'm a director at World Trade Center Gibraltar, and I'm here with two fantastic guests, which are also members of the World Trade Centers Association, Eveline Kolk and also Freek Faber from their own respective World Trade Centers. So just to introduce you a little bit more on myself. So I'm World Trade Center Gibraltar, but also due to our enthusiasm within the World Trade Centers Association network, we've recently acquired the London, Madrid and Malaga licenses, which we intend to get fully involved with in the coming years. So we're a World Trade Center owner, but we're also a real estate developer on a day-to-day basis. And one of the key reasons why we invested in the WTCA license was to help reduce our void periods and also to produce a building which is not necessarily just your average office building. It also provides a community hub, it provides networking space, and it provides a real reputational gain for our local community and for our jurisdiction as well. And we've found, within a month of opening that we were 98.5% occupied, and that's very much attributable to the WTCA brand. On real estate, I'm going to stick on this just for now. So I'm going to turn to Eveline Kolk, who's the Managing Director for World Trade Center Rotterdam and also World Trade Center The Hague. Eveline, it's fantastic. Thanks very much for joining. If you could perhaps talk to us a little bit about your World Trade Centers and also why you chose the WTCA brand as to front your building.
Yes, I will. Thank you. WTC Rotterdam is one of the founding partners of the WTCA. For the beginning of the 70s, we became a WTC in Rotterdam, together with 11 harbor cities. In 2016, WTC The Hague became a WTC. And yeah, we are very happy with that also.
Yeah, I mean, you've got fantastic real estate facilities, which are, so the real sort of, they sort of paint the skyline in both cities.
Yeah.
In that respect, obviously, you could have delivered a top quality building without a WTC brand. What made you want to deliver it with a WTC brand?
The WTC brand adds something extra, a very high-end international vibe. And that means that it's easier for us to, our business model is renting out the building. A building with restaurants, hotels, gyms, every facility you can imagine. Shops also in Rotterdam, and it attracts for us international companies to The Hague and to Rotterdam, and it gives the building an international high-end dynamic, and we love it.
Fantastic. And I think you touched on at the beginning there an interesting point, obviously one of the founder members within the WTCA family. And that is a really interesting point that a lot of people don't realize is that 1969 was the incorporation date of the World Trade Centers Association. But there was a quell of activity before that. There was David Rockefeller was pushing this in the late 50s, early 60s. And this dates back all the way to 1939 with the World Fair, and some of the sort of fundamental, even philanthropic reasons behind the WTCA is what attracts, I think, the network to the public sector, elected members in different municipalities, because it's not all about private commerce. It's actually about sort of a really community-based activity. And that's why I think, I've noticed when I've visited your buildings on a number of occasions now, that there is a real, community hub that you have there that's mixed use, a real sort of thriving activity for all of your occupiers, but also for people to utilize that building from a networking perspective as well. So that's really
very important. In The Hague is of course the capital of Holland. In The Hague, it's very important, large international community. And in The Hague, the WTC is really, from ambassadors to international companies, it's the place they are meeting and greeting and networking and working, and it works really well. The community, the municipality is very well involved in every activity. And in Rotterdam, our building was built in 1937, and it was built as a trade community. It was built as a trade house for insurances, for example. So not over a decade, over 100 years, but almost 100 years, it is used as a WTC, even if it wasn't. So that's also beautiful. Yeah.
Brilliant. And that's quite a useful segue, really, to our other guest, Freek Faber from World Trade Center Twente, which is also in the Netherlands. Welcome, Freek.
Yeah, hi, Ed.
So obviously the World Trade Centers Association has trade as its second word, and this is a fundamental, unique selling point of our association. Perhaps you could give me a little bit more information, Freek, on World Trade Center Twente. We know that it started as a city-owned entity, which is, I guess, likely motivated by strategic economic development goals, so they can support many local businesses and expand into new markets. Today, it's an independent non-profit organization. Talk to us a little bit more about that transition, what the shared significant value was in terms of the global network access and credibility and resource for international trade.
Yeah, I'm glad to do so. We are on the line from Amsterdam to Berlin, and we are the last stop in the Netherlands or the first stop coming out of Germany. We can see Germany from our office, so we are close to that, and it's always the meaning of the city of Hengelo, who is the license holder, from the start on to cooperate cross-border. And not only economic development, so to support companies in doing international business was the aim. When you support those companies, it goes well with the suppliers, and so you bring growth not only to the companies itself, but also to your region. And that's, of course, important for the economy in a region. But it also having a building, and we are in a development area at the railway station. So in that combination is also good to have a World Trade Center a brand and a trusted brand. And what the good thing is about when you are entering a network, you have a network of 320 World Trade Centers in 92 countries. So it's an easy access to cooperation, both for companies, but also when you're looking for international projects. So that was a worthwhile nearly 20 years ago when the license was acquired.
Brilliant. That's really good to know. So World Trade Center Twente has increased its membership by offering a variety of services to local businesses, whether it's organising incoming and outgoing trade missions, access to a business centre, and most notably establishing an expat centre for the East Netherlands for foreign knowledge workers. So perhaps you could explain a little bit more about World Trade Center Twente's role in assisting companies to support international talent. And obviously, we're in a talent-based world.
Yeah, I'm glad to do so. Well, of course, there's a battle for talent going on. I think in the Netherlands, but also in other countries. Everyone needs the talent, and we support with our expat center foreign knowledge workers who come to our region, mostly outside of Europe, and the companies are not aware of that. How must I do that? So that is where we started over 10 years ago, the expat center, just small, but we are now nearly supporting 2,000 expats coming into our region per year. And the companies, larger companies, but also the University of Twente, and also more and more smaller companies, so SMEs where we are focusing on, they make use of our support. And that's also important to keep the economy going on.
That's really useful. Thanks, Freek. And I think you were mentioning obviously about the international aspect of World Trade Center Twente, and it's useful for those that are watching to note that Patricia Moynard, who's the Foreign Direct Investment Director of World Trade Center Metz-Saarbrücken, is going to be heavily involved in the Investor Day in Dresden. And Metz-Saarbrücken as a World Trade Center is also quite unique. It's cross-jurisdictional. It's heavily involved with Germany, France, and Luxembourg. Perhaps you could just speak a little bit to Metz-Saarbrücken. I know it's not your World Trade Center, Freek, but you do a lot of work with Patricia.
But I know it, and I've been there. What a unique example is that's really cross-border. So not only Metz, but also Saarbrücken. And it's important that the city of Metz and mostly also the Industrie- und Handelskammer in Saarbrücken, so the Chamber of Commerce of Saarbrücken is involved. So, and they have a common interest also to make the cross-border region attractive for foreign direct investment, and in the having Luxembourg nearby, it's also a good example. So that means that not only municipalities or real estate developers, but also chambers in Germany, Industrie- und Handelskammer, but also congress centers, event location. The Germany is a strong trade fair country, known for many Messegelände, so they say in Germany. So therefore, it's also interested to have a license to frame and brand the location, and that is also what I think with the cross-border activities with Germany, World Trade Center Metz is doing very good in that way, and also have easy going on with companies meeting each other and learning from each other.
That's really useful to know, and I think it goes without saying also that our networks got quite a rich involvement from MICE, also that meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibitions sector. So we have a lot of international experience within the WTCA network. Las Vegas Convention Center being one, Metro Manila, in terms of locations well outside of the area. So I think that's something that's great for Germany, because we know that the exhibition space in Germany ought to be within our network. So that's fantastic. I'm going to push you guys as well on a couple of other points. So if we just go through some of the real benefits that we've just discussed. So in terms of the real estate play, we are for a real estate developer, the WTCA provides that sort of plug and play brand. So you've got building, you're trying to develop a building or deliver a building or unlock a building, that WTC status gives you that sort of the
international allure,
international recognized brand that you don't have to spend a load of time trying to invest or reinvent the wheel yourself. You've also got this economic development play as well, which you're talking about, Freek, which is extremely valuable for a local region, not just the community where your World Trade Center is based, but perhaps the functioning economic areas, such as also with Metz-Saarbrücken and Patricia's World Trade Center. And you've also got some real benefits, I think, in for a community to be involved in a building that's not just an average building. It's got that philanthropic history to it, which is, I think, also really useful and fantastic for people to get involved with. So there are a myriad of different ways in which you can get involved in a World Trade Center. And if you're an elected member or an elected official, if you're in the city council or the planning offices, if you're a real estate investor like myself and Eveline, or if you're actually part of an economic development team or a chamber, there are all various different ways in which you can get involved in the WTCA, and hopefully this has given you a little bit of insight into that. And we very much look forward to welcoming you in Dresden on the 10th of June this year. Thanks very much, everyone.
Thank you. Hope to see everyone there.
Bis bald.